16 WAPT News at 10 starts now.
I'm a marketer. I like the package. Now the challenge is, what are we going to do with it?
Celebrate Jackson, the new marketing campaign for the capital city. Why city leaders say it's needed now.
Plus, 3 experienced flyers died when their plane crash landed into a home. A man who was also supposed to be on the plane is talking about the tragedy.
And we're counting on you to help feed the needy for Thanksgiving. Why your support during tomorrow's Turkey Drive 16 is so critical.
Now, your weather first.
Cold first thing in the morning. Probably be some frost around, especially on rooftops. Sunshine and in the 30s, but we should sneak briefly into the low 60s during the afternoon. Still lots of sunshine in the forecast. Weekend weather, when I think our next chance of rain will be, and a peak at Thanksgiving. It's all coming up.
Thank you, David. New tonight, Richland police believe a gang of crooks may have cleaned out restaurants in both Brandon and Richland within an hour of each other.
Richland police say a group of 5 people, 4 women and 1 man entered the China Buffet restaurant Sunday evening on Highway 49 and Harper Street. They distracted the staff, saying they had a large party coming. Gary Belding and other workers started setting up for 20 people.
And while we were doing that, the kids that were with them slipped behind the counter and grabbed 2 bags, which had everything they owned in it.
The thieves made off with $6,000 in cash. Police believe the same group hit the Dragon Palace restaurant in Brandon Crossgates an hour earlier Sunday evening. If you can help police catch these crooks, please call Crime Stoppers at 601-355-TIPS.
The secret is out. The 1114 campaign for the capital city is actually a new marketing campaign for the city called Celebrate Jackson. 16 WAPT's Meg Pace joins us live from City Hall, where that announcement was made today. So Meg, what exactly is this campaign?
Well, Stephanie, there's still a little confusion as to whether this is a new slogan or not, but what you will see around downtown Jackson and other areas are signs like this that say Celebrate Jackson. The city says the purpose is to promote business and attract tourists. Celebrate Jackson. It's a new marketing campaign for the city that's costing taxpayers $98,000.
We've been asked for a long time now, you know, what is the city doing in terms of market itself to make it more attractive to companies coming in, people coming in, and this is an opportunity to do that.
City leaders say they'll use the Celebrate Jackson brand to highlight great things in the city, like museums, food, universities, and businesses. I mean, tell me, does this work?
Well, you know, slogans are only as good as the people that stand behind them.
Jeff Good is co-owner of 3 restaurants in Jackson. He believes the Celebrate Jackson campaign can be good for city business if executed well.
I'm a marketer. I like the package. Now the challenge is, what are we going to do with it? Because you've got to fulfill what you say you are.
City leaders say the Celebrate Jackson campaign will take many forms, like signs, TV commercials, and will have a strong social media presence. Wednesday, hundreds of residents were at City Hall for the kickoff.
Sometimes we can talk about the problems in Jackson, but days like this are solutions.
Well, city leaders say this campaign will also have an interactive component to it. They'll need participation from citizens here in Jackson. The mayor says as they continue to unroll this campaign, all those details will come out to the public. Reporting live in Jackson, Meg Pace, 16 WAPT News.
Well, Meg, does Celebrate Jackson replace the city's slogan of City with Soul?
Stephanie, there seems to be a little bit of confusion about that. Some of the people involved in the campaign today told me it would replace it. It'll now just be Celebrate Jackson, but the mayor told me it's not going to replace any previous slogans. He says it's going to be a part of the grand scheme of things, but it will still remain the City with Soul.
Okay, all right, Meg Pace, live for us at City Hall. Thank you so much.
The NTSB says it'll be months before we know what caused a plane to go down in a Jackson neighborhood last night. All 3 men aboard died when it crashed near the Jackson Zoo. As 16 WAPT's Aaron Kelly reports, the men were experienced flyers.
Family members had to see it for themselves Wednesday. 3 men died when their plane went down into this home on Reverend Marcus Butler Drive Tuesday night.
The FAA provided information that the pilot did report an engine problem. I do not know the extent of the engine problem.
The Civil Air Patrol confirms all 3 were a part of their group. Colonel John Tilton Jr., Lieutenant Colonel David Williams, and Captain William C. Young. Airport leaders say their Piper PA-32 was heading from Hawkins Field to Raymond for a safety meeting.
In other words, we're going to look at the pilot. We're going to look at training, what he may have said, what he may have done.
Tilton, 65, was a former helicopter pilot in the Army.
John Tilton was my pilot. He was a dear friend. John was a super fantastic, cheerful guy.
Roger Latham owns the plane, and Tilton invited him to go with him.
Supposed to be on that aircraft with John. And I spent time with my brother.
Williams, 69, was a former Air Force fighter pilot. Young, 78, had experience as a flight instructor. The flag outside their Civil Air Patrol wing was at half-staff Wednesday, mourning what they call the tremendous loss of 3 great Americans. The NTSB says they'll have the preliminary results of their investigation out here in about 10 days. Then they say it could be about 9 to 12 months before they have any clear idea of what caused this crash. In Jackson, Aaron Kelly, 16 WAPT News.
One woman was in the house at the time of the crash. She escaped with minor injuries. Authorities say a grandmother and 3 of her grandchildren were killed in a car crash in Copiah County today. The Mississippi Highway Patrol says the wreck happened around 7:30 this morning on Highway 27 near Lee Road. Investigators say 67-year-old Anita Teasley tried to cross the intersection but never made it. Her Chevy Cobalt was T-boned by an 18-wheeler. The impact killed Teasley and her 3 grandkids, ages 6, 3, and 1, instantly. Residents in the area say they've always worried about the safety of the intersection.
And the speed limit 45. You know, there's no to 45.
You think that truck is going faster than 45?
Without a doubt.
Family friends say Anita Teasley was taking the oldest child to school when that crash happened. State troopers say no charges have been filed and the accident remains under investigation.
Jackson police are increasing street patrols, all for Operation Roundup.
Okay.
That operation kicked off today. Assistant Police Chief Lee Vance says officers are taking a more proactive approach to fighting crime. He says more visibility on the streets is the start to reducing crime.
Keeping crime down. I like to see them out here, especially during the daytime, because there's a lot of kids that be walking through here.
That we don't see the police enough. And we're doing everything that we can to be sensitive to that concern. And this is a visible testament to how we are committed to doing that.
Well, right now, property crime is down, but violent crimes are up in the city. Vance says they'll also be doing club checks, park checks, and also serving warrants. Today, Governor Phil Bryant released his $5.8 billion spending plan. Bryant is seeking an extra $24 million for education programs, including $15 million for literacy training programs. The governor has set a goal for all children to be able to read by 3rd grade. Now, this plan also has a 1.5% budget cut for fiscal year 2013. The budget cuts would not apply to public safety, National Guard, and UMC.
I think what we can't do is cut back on public safety. I went through Isaac just a few months ago. We can't cut back on MEMA and our Department of Public Safety. I don't think we can cut back at our job creators.
Workers have until April 1st to adopt a budget.
An auction at the Clarksdale restaurant owned by actor Morgan Freeman was a big success. The contents of the Mississippi Natives restaurant, Medidi, was on the auction block. Everything from the furniture to the utensils were snatched up yesterday. Freeman owns the location with attorney Bill Luckett. That business opened up back in 2001 but closed 9 months ago. Freeman and Luckett still own the Blues Club Ground Zero located just down the street. The two say that's not going anywhere. There's now a new Mississippi Blues Trail marker in the state. This one is in Coldwater and will recognize Tate County and the town of Coldwater for the many blues musicians that are from the area. That ceremony was held at the town square.
A former pageant queen is hoping you'll make a donation to help save her life. The former Miss University is in ICU and receiving blood transfusions daily. 24-year-old Catherine Barkett-Bird's family says she ate something that gave her E. coli. Her husband says she's in good spirits, but she's in need of plasma.
You never think that anything like this could really happen. So, yeah. Doctor's saying it's a long process because the toxins and everything are all throughout her body, and it's going to take a while just to get everything out.
Bird says they're not sure what she ate that gave her E. coli. If you want to donate plasma, she needs AB positive, which can only be donated by men. You can also donate blood, and they'll give her credit. All of this is set up at Mississippi Blood Services. Well, the countdown is on for the chance to help the needy have a happy Thanksgiving. Turkey Drive 16 is tomorrow morning.
And we are all very excited about that. As 16 WAPT Scott Simmons reports, what you deliver tomorrow could go a long way to feeding hungry families this Thanksgiving.
A busy maze of machinery. Moving pallets at the Mississippi Food Network. There are few breaks in the action, except for donations like this truckload from Nucor Steel. But what they're bringing in now will be headed right back out the door for needy families this month.
We like to support the community, and we like to give to others that don't have as good as we have.
It is a busy time for the Mississippi Food Network, but there is seldom a slow time for the agency that collects food and feeds about 175,000 people a month. During the Thanksgiving holidays, the demand is even higher.
When people run out of money at the end of the month or they run out of food stamps, then they can go to one of our pantries and get enough food to feed their family.
The Food Network can pay for 7 meals with each dollar it receives, and that is largely because they deal in bulk.
The Food Network really looks for staple items like a can of corn or a pound of sugar. These kind of items, they can really stretch the dollar. When you talk about frozen turkeys, though, that's not really the case.
Protein is real expensive, and it's not doable for us to spend $100,000 on a truckload of turkeys when we could get 2.5 truckloads of staple food for the same amount of money. So to have someone like WAPT do a turkey drive for us is a great benefit, because that's a way for us to get protein to help distribute to our agencies.
What's collected by the Food Network is spread to 415 agencies throughout the area, all working to feed hungry families and, with your help, provide added reason for thanks this Thanksgiving. Scott Simmons, 16 WAPT News.
And once again, our Turkey Drive 16 takes place tomorrow. We're going to start collecting those turkeys at 4:30 in the morning until 7 in the evening.
Just come on by Kroger in the Jacksonian Plaza off I-55 in North Jackson and drop off your turkey. With most stores selling turkeys for 88 cents a pound, it's very easy to get a bird to help out those in need. We're looking forward to seeing you.
She lived through our life and she wants to come back.
Police are calling it an all-new low. Thieves stole the AC unit from a cancer patient who returned home to spend her last days. The video that caught those crooks red-handed.
You're going to see it come in from the top, do a little loopy-doop.
And was it a top secret military project or a UFO from outer space? Later on, the video that captured mysterious lights over Denver.
Sky is clear and you look outside, the flag just hanging there limp. No wind, we're already down to 38 degrees. How low will the temperature go tonight? That answer is coming up and a look into the weekend, all next. You're watching 16 WAPT News.
The Associated Press Best Newscast in Mississippi and an Emmy Award for Best Newscast in the Southeast region. This is 16 WAPT News, the one to watch.